Today we're going to talk about where the GTA 5 story would go had Trevor not made it in time in the wrap-up mission when Michael got almost drilled by a Merryweather helicopter. So let's say that Trevor is literally just minutes too late and Michael gets annihilated by the helicopter. Trevor arrives to his vantage point and then from afar he sees a dead Michael, and Trevor goes on an absolute rampage, just insane in the membrane, massacres any Merryweather goon, any cop, any fed, or anyone in his way, and among those victims would be Dave Norton. But Trevor's not really done by any means, and his next target is Steve Haynes, who he blames even more for Michael's death than Dave. Now yeah, sure, you could say that Trevor hates Michael at this point, but let's be real, for all this time, I don't think that he wanted for Michael to be killed, especially not by someone else. Like he himself says that if Michael has to die, he's gonna be the one to kill him in that very mission. And for weeks, Trevor would tail Steve, and one night he'd go to his house and stab him over 30 times. Think of something similar to the Floyd and Deborah situation during the mission Hank 10. And throughout all of this, Franklin and Lester would know of Michael's death, but they wouldn't really know that both Dave and Steve were killed by specifically Trevor. That is until one day Franklin asks for their help with the Lamar situation, and Trevor does help out, but then he asks Lester and Franklin to meet up because he wants to do the big one, which has been put on hold due to the recent situation that's been going on with the group. And while initially incredibly apprehensive, it would be Franklin who would say that their best option is to do this thing and then leave Los Santos, and they have pretty much no other choice but to do that and go their separate ways because of all the heat. And you know, if they die, they're gonna die, and that's just gonna be it. That's how Franklin would put it, I think, especially now that Dave's dead, so they don't have any protection from the law. And just like that, the crew would settle on doing the subtle approach because they wouldn't have someone as insane as Michael to try to rob the Union Depository only as a distraction, deciding in the end that the subtle approach is the only way to go for them right now. And after the big one, the three say their goodbyes one last time and leave Los Santos. This, however, would not be without consequences, as only a couple of weeks after everyone split up, Franklin would hear from Tanisha that Lamar was killed by Stretch one night, and an enraged Franklin would take a trip back to Los Santos for one last piece of business, to do what he should have done ever since the situation on Grove Street, and that's put an end to Stretch, which he would do this time, definitely ending his time in Los Santos, as now he not only has to worry about the robbery of the biggest bank on the West Coast being pinned on him because he did it, but he also shot Stretch, which means that had he stayed in Los Santos, it would only be a matter of time before he was arrested or killed. Lester would change his identity and move back to the Midwest. Trevor would likely just stay in the Sandy Shores or Paleto Bay area, and Franklin, well, let's just say he'd start a new life in Liberty City, a rich man looking for connections. Speaking of rich dudes, Devin Weston would make it on top in this reality. He takes over and destroys the movie studio, and Solomon Richards can't do a thing. As for Michael's family, they'd get one last farewell email from Franklin, and him and Trevor would, before leaving town, arrange for them to be taken care of and relocated for safety reasons, something that they felt they at least owed to Michael. Trevor would still have his issues with the triads, but I mean, if Franklin could have dealt with them on two separate occasions on his own, they're no match for Trevor by any means. And with that said, I want to thank you for watching this video. Leave your thoughts and opinions on this what if in the comments down below. Leave a like on the video and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you guys are trying to help me out. We're trying to get to 3K subs before GTA 6, and also leave your what if suggestions in the comments down below, and if I like them enough, I might do them in a future video. Until next video stream, bye bye.